Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Coffee with the Critters. I have two co-hosts with me this morning. Hi, Rico. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with the Critters. My name is Laura Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. Hi. We are an international educational center teaching people all across the world about living, loving, learning with animals in our care using positive reinforcement and applied behavior analysis. Welcome back. This is, we're going on over 3 years of broadcasting this live stream every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hey, everybody. Hi. Let me get my co-host on here. And hi, there he is, back in lovely Northwest Ohio with my co-host Rico. And another co-host, well, I've got a couple of co-hosts. Hi, Coco, my co-host Murray. And let's see, my other co-host Milo. Hey, everybody. Hey, Sean, good to see you on here. Hey, Nancy, good morning. Jeannie, Ray, Heather, Beth, Sharon, Bobby, Julie, Mary. It's going to take me forever to go through everybody. Hey, everybody. So I'm back. Hey, Eva, back from Kanab, Utah. Hi, where I've spent the past week at an animal training summit given by the Pet Professional Guild, whom I also write for, which I have an article due this week. There we go. Okay, there you go. That's what you get for sitting below a macaw. Where we gave the Pet Professional Guild held an animal training summit at Best Friends Society. I guess I'm going to have to move my computer a little bit more closer to Rico. I'm cool with that. Yeah, so I was joined out there over the past week with 5 other presenters. It was myself, Dr. Janice Bradley, Vicki Ronchetti, Emily Cassell, Jacqueline Manera, Chirag Patel. Yeah, so they had us all fly in. And we all spoke. Well, a couple of us gave presentations. I had had 2 different presentations. I went live right before my last one, and I gave a workshop each day. And my area was, hello, Patricia from Texas. My area was working in the Parrot Garden. I worked with parrots. Chirag worked with the pigs. Vicki Ronchetti worked with the tortoises, which she is now obsessed with. And I posted a video of her training on the Animal Behavior Center's Facebook page. Emily worked with rabbits. Jacqueline worked with cats. And Janice worked with the dogs. Yeah. So, hello, everybody. I've got a bunch of photos for you. And I am willing to take some questions in regards to the workshops and what I trained. Me specifically, I have so many photos, and I haven't even been home 2 days yet. And I have not had a chance to go through all of them. So I uploaded a few for you guys today. And there's so much more that I wanted to upload. I just didn't have the time, and I haven't had the time to go through all of them yet. Hey, okay, so Tanya says, first time viewer here. Laura, thanks for your passion and love for animals, especially parrots. Well, thank you, Tanya. That was nice to read. So good morning, everybody. We have this episode every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Our last episode, Coffee with the Critters, was live streamed from a van on our way from Las Vegas to Kanab, Utah last week. and it was a 2-part episode. There is like next to no Wi-Fi at Best Friends Animal Society because it is out in the middle of nowhere in Kanab, Utah. And I know it sits on over 3,000 acres in the canyons. It's beyond beautiful. I found myself, I kept taking photos, but I just put my camera away because I would look at the photos and look at the view. Let's bring some views on here. I would look at the view, and it just didn't do it justice. I have a couple of different photos I can show you guys. Here is a view overlooking every day after, right before our workshops, we had lunch at Best Friends Animal Sanctuary Society, and it overlooked this beautiful canyon, and there was ravens everywhere. I was in my glory. Not even one day. I was given a workshop at the Parrot Garden, and a raven flew over where we were training with a mouse in its mouth, in its beak. Yeah. You gonna get full on these today? Yeah. So I do believe, okay, so here was the sign when we pulled up on Best Friends Animal Society. This animal training workshop summit was the first one presented by the Pet Professional Guild, and I am here to say, Nikki Tudge, which I have the founder of the Pet Professional Guild, I have a photo getting ready to come up. She said the last night we were there, she asked if we were all ready to do it again, and we all said yes. So I am 99.9% sure Nikki is going to, the Pet Professional Guild is going to have this animal training summit again next year. I am here to tell you it's a very eye-opening experience, and I cannot say enough about Best Friends Animal Society. I went around as much as I could, but I didn't have a lot of time. It started every morning between 8 and 8:30 and often ended every night at 9. So there were presentations every morning. Then we went for an hour-and-a-half lunch, which was great. It gave us great opportunity to mingle with all the attendees. It was primarily dog trainers, but definitely not limited to. There were several parrot people out there. I know there was numerous other multi-species trainers. It was fabulous, and I cannot say enough about just the true sincerity of Best Friends Animal Society. I have never been to a place like this before. I don't know how many animals they have total. I would love to get Nikki Tudge on here and interview her. She is the founder of the Pet Professional Guild. I'd like to get her on here and maybe do a live stream with her. I would also love to I've been in touch with Best Friends Animal Society. They shared some posts. I would like to get in touch with them and do a live stream with them. And I've also been in touch with Jackie. Her and Stacy run the Parrot Garden. I would like to get Jackie on here. So I've already contacted Jackie. Oh, here's Sylvia. I already contacted Jackie, and she said she's checking, but she's going to try to do a live stream with us. Yeah, so here's Sylvia. Sylvia was out there with us. She was one of the attendees, and I had the opportunity to hang out with her last week for a great period of time. And Sylvia, I do believe I even posted, I've got a photo in here of the view from your, what do you call it? They're not cottages. Best Friends has cottages and cabins. And Sylvia stayed at one. I didn't even know that was a possibility, or I would have done it and overlooked the horses. So Sylvia says they have 1,600 animals. So I'm sure you guys are going to have more questions for me that I may not be able to answer. But if I can't answer them, maybe somebody else on here that attended I believe there were 170 attendees. Nikki is going to have it again next year, and I can't say enough about it. It's just an awesome experience. If you guys have the opportunity to go, go. Start saving your money now. Nikki is going to have it again in 2019 out at Best Friends Animal Society. But like I was saying, I can't say enough about the quality of care they give to the animals. I didn't get to see all the different places that they had because I was just too busy. Sylvia says, "Yep, that is a cottage." They care for 1,600 animals. Eva posted their website. Oh, yeah. Sylvia says you can also go and volunteer. Yes. You can go out and volunteer, and you can stay for as much as you want. Julia asked, how much did it cost to attend this workshop? Sylvia, do you know? I don't know because I was one of the presenters. I do believe it was around $500, but I don't know. And then you have to sign up for the different workshops. Andy asked, will I attend in 2019? Yes, I already told, Nikki already asked me, and I told her I would. I'm not sure of the date, so just stay tuned. And hey, there's Deb. Happy to see me home. Yes, I'm happy to be home. Who told you that? We're gonna have a Charlie Brown conversation going on behind us. So yeah, cool. Here it comes. Who told you that, Rock? Are you gonna have a conversation? This is something Rocky used to do years ago. He very rarely does it. But let's get started. Okay, so this is Nikki Tudge. She is the founder of the Pet Professional Guild. So she put on a fantastic event. Can't say enough about it. So when I was asked to go, I was asked to do the workshops for the Parrot Garden, where they have 115 animals. And it is headed by Jackie and Stacy, and I had the great opportunity to hang out with both of them. They have 115 parrots, and the majority of the parrots they get are from, and they do adopt out, and they have a pretty detailed adoption policy, which I give kudos to. They put a lot of time into it. And 115 parrots, and the majority of the parrots I had asked, how do they get surrendered? And she said, Jackie told me it's primarily from people passing away, growing older, not being able to take care of the parrots any longer. They have, I'll tell you what, if you guys want some ideas of some parrots to adopt, they have plenty. It was hard for me not to walk away with any, especially Sunshine, which you're going to hear a lot more about. Sunshine is a citron-crusted cockatoo that has been there for over 9 years that needs adopted out. But you're going to see some of Sunshine pictures coming up. Needs to get adopted out, but they didn't think, they said Sunshine will bite you as soon as you get your hands in close proximity, and they didn't think it was possible to work with him. We did some work with him. And I want to thank you. I want to thank Jackie because on the last day during the lunch, they featured my work with Sunshine to everybody that attended the lunch at Best Friends Animal Society. So I was very honored. But when we started, Jackie took me around and showed me, let me adjust the screen and see if I can get myself lower. No. She took us around and gave myself, Vicky, and Shirag a tour of the Parrot Garden. And they have a new building And this is the inside. It's like the building is all surrounded or surrounds an aviary where they can put the adopters and the parrots in the center, which you're looking at the same time. And like I said, this was newly designed. Here's a photo. I got a photo. There's the beautiful canyon in the background. This is where we ate lunch every single day. Here's Vicky and Sharad, but I was trying to show a picture of the overlook that we had. So here's Susan Nilsson. She's the editor of the Barks magazine. The Barks magazine, which comes out, I believe, every other month, and I have an article due by next weekend, and I am going to do it on the review of the Parrot Garden workshop. So I've got plenty of photos. What? Rocky's going to start screaming, just a FYI. So every day, and I think Nikki said they may do some things a little different next year. We talked about it on at the dinner we had the night before we left. We gave some of our input on things that really worked well and how it may, any type of improvements. But I don't know how you can improve on that because that was fabulous. But every morning there were, I believe, 2 presentations. And then everybody would load up in a van, and they would drive us on the probably about 10, 15-minute drive into the canyon where Best Friends Animal Society is. Each workshop consisted of 10 people, in addition to the presenter and the representative from the Pet Professional Guild. And then we would do an hour-and-a-half workshop. Jeannie says, saw you worked with an African Gray. Yes, I did. Were you really surprised with that? I worked with Frankie, the African Gray, which is meeting some potential adopters. I believe this week is what Stacy said. What a fabulous educator he was. And everybody was laughing at me because I said, the parrots that I get the most nervous working with are the African Grays because they look like this when they're excited to see you, and then they look like this when they're getting ready to nail you. So, yeah, I did work with Frankie, the African Gray. Deb says she is definitely going next time. Deb, you should. There's a couple of us trainers that are going to get together and head out there as well. Maybe before then. I don't know. I know me, Vicky, and Sharad are planning on getting together and going back out as a group. Deb, I believe your name was mentioned in possibly going with us. Yeah. So Sylvia says it opened your eyes to some of the caretakers of what can be done. Yeah. And they welcome visitors, volunteers out. So you can go out any time of the year and volunteer for as long as you wish. Okay? Jeannie says she's going. You're so right about Grays, but love my girls. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So every day we had 10 people. And some of the days, I mean, I was really surprised that some of the days we had people attend my workshop twice. But it was primarily dog trainers, but not limited to. I loved it because I got to open up people's eyes to just the unique experience and how awesome parrots are. That was my job, was to make sure everybody knew how awesome parrots are. I had several trainers, the attendees say that they think that after the workshop that they thought every dog training certification should involve parrot training because the cues are so subtle. It really forces you to focus and pay attention to the tiniest of details. So I talked a lot about, we started off with understanding body language, identifying and natural environmental aversives and how to set yourself up for success with the parrot. What do you think, Rock? So here are the two people I'm talking about that run the Parrot Garden, and that's Jackie on the left and Stacy on the right, and I can't say enough about them. I know Jackie on the left was one of the people somewhat involved. I don't know. I have to talk to Jackie with taking in the Michael Vick dogs. I believe she had one. She cared for one, but don't quote me on that because Jackie and I just got together and talked parrots is what we were doing. And what a fabulous person. So anyway, she took us through different parts, peekaboo, different parts of the Parrot Garden. Lee says cockatoos are hard to read sometimes, and that was something we talked about a lot, Lee. I talked about the label of peekaboo. I talked about the label of using the label unpredictable. And a lot of times it is associated with the cockatoos. And my response was, here's what I have to say about behavior being unpredictable. If an animal is labeled as unpredictable, it is usually because they are on intermittent schedules of reinforcement for those undesired behaviors, functional for them, undesired by us. And it's usually because there's numerous different people interacting with that animal, and that animal sees us as unpredictable because we are not approaching the same way. I may come in and train something. Somebody else may come in later and pair themselves unknowingly with an aversive by... What is going on behind me? It's a Chucklehead Festival. So there is an article that I wrote called "Putting the Unpredictable on Cue," and I did it with Captain Crunch here, Captain America. I'm just going to take a look at some of your, hey, there's Jude Jensen. I got to meet Jude out there, and if I uploaded my photos correctly, you're going to see a photo of Jude coming up. Jude is a level 1 member and a member of the Parrot Project, which are both online live stream learning that I offer here through the Animal Behavior Center. And you're going to want to pay attention because I've got something coming up pretty soon. Yeah, Mary says, I was thinking that was the place that took in some of the Michael Vick dogs. Yes, it is. And I have a photo of not one of the Michael Vick dogs, but another dog that stays with Jackie. And I'm going to show you. So let's get on to some of the work we did. I want to show you some of the work we did. So we had several different candidates, and I ended up changing some of the avian candidates throughout the workshop, but 3 remained the same, and I would add a couple in each day. But a lot of people are afraid of birds. It's usually because they don't know anything about them. And I know a lot of people are afraid of birds because they fly, their form of transportation. So I shaped the behavior of the attendees, which, like I said, which were primarily dog trainers, but definitely not limited to. So a lot of them didn't know anything about parrots. So I started out by explaining body language. But then I have several photos in here. I would shape their behavior. I shaped it through... I would shape their comfort level, the attendees' comfort level. And I shaped it through having them watch me. And then we worked with Frankie, the African Gray, Frankie was all off contact. So people who were nervous, we asked Frankie to step up onto a perch. And then we showed how to step him back down off the perch. And I'll go through here. But a lot of people, even the people that said they were afraid of birds, this is the cockatiel aviary, and I would tell them, we're going to go in there, and birds are going to be flying all around you. They're going to land on your head. They're going to land on your shoulders. We're going to train them to target. We're going to train them to station. We're going to train them to do whatever, train them to recall. And we did. And look at some of the smiles on the faces of these people. So I'm just going to, here's the awesome Shawn Whaley. She is a level 2 member here at the Animal Behavior Center, and she's in every single project. So that tells me that Shawn, when I saw Shawn sign up, that she wanted to become a professional animal trainer, and she does. And she's well on her way. Shawn will be here next weekend along with Deb Jones, who's on here. We have an enrichment workshop, which registration is now closed. Animal enrichment workshop, which will be happening here next week. And pay attention, because Deb Jones and I also have an all species animal training workshop coming up in October 13th and 14th. There are still seats available, and I expect it to sell out. But here is Shawn Whaley, and we're starting with target training. She's target training this cockatiel to her finger. Target training meaning asking an animal to touch a particular body part to an object on cue. I want to show you, there's some photos. I had some problems getting these photos in the appropriate spots before the live stream. I ran out of time. But what I'm doing here is teaching 2 cockatiels to station. Station means go to an area and don't move until cued or requested to do otherwise. Just stay there until asked for the next behavior. So what I'm doing here is these 2 cockatiels. Now take this, even though I'm talking about parrots, this is in relation to any animal. Okay, so what was happening is the attendees were trying to teach the bird to target its beak to a stick. And when they would go to reinforce, especially these 2 birds right here, the one that had earned the reinforcement, the other cockatiel would come over and peck on its wings, trying to get to the reinforcer. So I just said, teach them to station. And this was here I am showing a station where a station is a target with increased duration, meaning that the target is, I want your 2 feet right here. And I want your 2 feet right here. And I want them to stay there until cued to do, I'm going to reinforce the behavior of your feet staying there until cued to do otherwise. So what I suggested was teach them a station and then increase the timing of that station and then start in with the target training. Bridge, deliver a reinforcer, and then deliver the reinforcer for the one over here for staying stationed. And a lot of people, didn't happen at this workshop, but a lot of people forget to reinforce the behavior of the animal that's staying still. That is not uncommon. And if you don't, you'll see that behavior fall apart. Okay, so Sharon says, I want to purchase a seat to the October training. Sharon, feel free to message me right now, here on Facebook, or I just want to address that before we go any further. Or you can also go to the Animal Behavior Center's website, which is theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. I don't know if that's showing up on the screen, but it should be. Anyways, let me just write this out real quick. For anybody that's interested in the October workshop given by myself and psychologist and professional dog trainer Deb Jones, that is October 13th and 14th. You can go to our website and click on events. You'll see that show up. So on to some other photos. So here's a couple of photos of the Parrot Garden. It was decent size, and their building, so they had a flight, another building starting being built when we got there, and it looked like it was almost finished by the time we left. So here is one of 2 parrots. You'll see this coming up. I'm going to go a little bit more in detail about working with a bonded pair. So there was a bonded pair of macaws. I believe they were like 28, 35 years old, something like that. They've been together their whole life. And They do not want them separated, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought about contacting them to adopt these two because they would make great educators. It's a green wing like Murray and a blue and gold macaw. I'm talking about you. You want to come down here? Yeah, come on down. Just to ensure that they never get separated. And but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Jackie and Stacy are going to let that happen. They said those two are, when they are adopted, they will be adopted together. But here I am. This is a photo of me, Caroline. I can't remember their names. I believe they were Hawaiian names. This is a photo of me asking the green wing to step on my hand while I increase distance from the blue and gold, which they are a bonded pair. You don't just want to pick one up and boom, walk it away. That will cause a lot of stress to the other bird. So that's a photo, and there'll be more coming up. Here they are. I cannot remember what their names are. It's something like Liquido and something else. But here's the blue and gold on the right. What are you talking about, Rico? And he does have a plucked chest. Oh, I forgot. Vicki and I, there was a couple of us that we did take a couple of breaks, and we went out and did some shopping and explored Kanab. And here I am target training a horse, and here is Vicki target training the other horse. That's about as close as I get to horses. But did you know I was riding horses before I got interested in birds? I was barrel racing horses. Believe that? Nancy says, bonded as friends or bonded as lovers? You know what, Nancy? I'm pretty sure it's just friends. I don't know if they did any more than that. I'm really not sure. I don't know. But here's some of the cockatiels as well. So this is one of the dog trainers, or one of the attendees. She's target training the bird in front of her, and then she put the target up here, and the other bird flew to her shoulder, and there she is, targeting and reinforcing. There you go, target training both of them. That's what we do here with a lot of different animals. We'll use target training to introduce animals that may not be comfortable or not familiar with visitors. We use a target stick. And then you can, like some of the workshops we have here, I haven't done this in a while. Maybe we do this, Deb, at our upcoming October workshop, because some of the animals here that Deb and I will be working in the workshop, if they're not comfortable with other people, we take the steps needed to get them comfortable, and that often involves a target stick. So we'll start with the target stick wherever the animal's comfortable. I'll ask the animal to, like I'm thinking a cello or roller pigeon, to target to our head, and then I'll take that target stick and put it on the top of the other person's head, and that's a lot of times how we did that in one of our workshops. Here is the awesome Jackie, but she was talking to me. We walked by Sunshine. She goes, he's been here 9 years. We don't know if he's adoptable. And I said, why? And she said, because he will bite people's hands the first chance he can get. So, and Jackie was really emotional about it. And it was Jackie's sincerity in being emotional about it. I said, let's start training him. His name is Sunshine. So we started training Sunshine, the sulfur-crested cockatoo, on the second day of the workshop, and you could see obvious difference by the end, the fourth day. So thanks. I showed Jackie how you can approach, and Jackie and Stacy, I believe, are going to become members of the Parrot Project. She told me before she left they definitely want to become members, and I said I will get you on track with Sunshine. So those of you in the Parrot Project, you are going to see a lot of working with Sunshine, where to start with a biter. That biting serves a purpose, and that biting is being reinforced. And I could tell a reinforcer of sunshine was attention. So it's probably the misuse of attention, which is keeping that undesired behavior very strong. So I explained that to her and showed her places to where to start. Yay, touch, good. You're going to see that in the Parrot Project. So we're going to start working with sunshine, and we're going to start doing a lot of live streams with Jackie and Stacy, and we're going to get him moving forward, get them picking him up, and get sunshine adopted out. Anyways, the whole sunshine deal was very emotional for many people. Even the dog trainers, the attendees. So I'll show you some more work, Jackie, in a couple of slides Jackie's doing with sunshine. So come down here. Peekaboo, rock, rock. Hi. Murray, why don't you come down here? So here is a photo I took of the guy that was having the issue with the two cockatiels. It was like, teach him to station. So here he is starting to teach them to station. And here is, I believe his name is Bubba G. This is Jackie's kid. I can't recall the whole story. Sylvia, if you're on here, or anybody else. Anybody else? This is Bubba G. And Bubba G was found in a dumpster. I'm not sure where, but Best Friends Animal Society takes in a lot of dogs from Toledo, Ohio, because Toledo, Ohio, I hate to say, is one of the biggest cities in the United States known for their dog fighting. I am very aware of that. It's all around us here in Toledo. So that is very unfortunate. Anyways, but here's Bubba G, was found in a dumpster, and you see he has no ears. I can't remember the whole story, but Jackie said he had signs of scars of dog fighting, and I believe his ears were torn up. And so the very little bit that they just had to remove the ears because that's how damaged they were. Yeah. Sad, sad, sad. Okay. Jude says, because Jude was there, Bubba G was found in a dumpster after a dog fight and left to die. Yep. Sad. Disgusting. Anyways, so Bubba G loves people, or really seemed to rock and roll, enjoy the interaction. So after every workshop was over at the Parrot Garden, Jackie went and got Bubba G, and Bubba G just really, knowing all that Bubba has gone through, really enjoyed the attention of all the attendees. Yeah. So for those that are just joining, welcome. You are watching Coffee with the Critters, weekly live stream we do every Sunday here on the Animal Behavior Center's Facebook page. So here is our attendees interacting with Bubba. Okay, I believe I showed that one. So sorry. I'm going to start flipping through some of these photos. It was just really cool to see all the expressions and the joy that the dog trainers were really getting from working with the parrots. And like I said, most of them said that working with parrots should be a part of every dog certification program. Sylvia says you have the dog fighting there too. Sylvia is just north of me, about an hour and a half north of me, outside of Windsor, Canada. Okay. So here's some of the cockatoos. What am I looking at here? Oh, I'm going to skip through these because this is myself, Sylvia, and Vicky went on a couple outings, and we went to a cave that a family owns and has owned since the early 1900s, something like around 1930s or something, 1945. But this part of the canyon was a bar, and the other section of the cave was a bar, and the other section was a dance floor and DJ where they had a lot of famous movie stars. Kanab, Utah is known for where they made Gunsmoke, and there was a lot of Westerns. And as soon as you drive in, you will see. It looks like it. But Kanab, Utah, probably in addition to many other places in Utah, is known for their dinosaur fossils and footprints. Okay? So the reason I got into birds, and this is what I told everybody, is I am fascinated with dinosaurs. That's how I got involved in birds. So I came home and was showing my husband some of these prints. And when I showed him this one, he goes, "Hey, looks like an ostrich print." And I looked at him and was like, "Hey, you're right, it does. How cool is that?" So I'm a huge dinosaur fan. So all I could picture was all these dinosaurs running around out there. Kanab is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Can't say it enough. Here's Jackie with an Indian ringneck, who is up for adoption as well. And just taking a look, this is more training of the cockatiels. I have more than cockatiels coming up too. Here's another photo of Sunshine. And this is a photo of me showing Jackie where to start. And I suggested to Jackie, as like the door is at the front of the cage, obviously, where Sunshine hangs out a lot. I said, why don't we teach him to station on a perch in the back of the cage? And Jackie has started doing that. So we're going to get, this is where Sunshine on his station. Okay. One of the first things I teach any animal is to forage. Second thing I teach is to target. Third thing I teach is a station. So I believe it was Vicky that shot this picture of me during my presentation. This was my last presentation, which was Thursday morning, on how we can improve our training skills through working with parrots. Here is, I believe, yep, that's Frankie, the African gray that I was working with. Let me get you some photos. Yep, there's my presentation. Okay, so here are some photos of the other attendees. What we would do, and this is what I told them. And I was just like, birds don't like their tails touched. If they're not being petted, they don't care for their tails being bumped, touched, whatever. It is an aversive, and it's often paired with picking the bird up. So we were doing demonstrations like, here's Frankie on his perch. If you are going to pick that bird up, always ask it to step higher versus lower, because higher, and then lift the bird straight up, clear its tail, because this is what a lot of people do. They either ask the bird to step down, and if the bird has to step down, guess what's hitting their tail? The perch which they're stepping off of. And a lot of times that reinforces a bite. And people tell me a lot of times my bird is biting for no reason. I was like, it is biting for a reason. Every behavior happens for a reason. Myself, Vicky, Shirag, and Bailey, who is going to make an awesome animal trainer if she decides to get into it. She works with special needs children. We were having a conversation about abnormal repetitive behaviors, which are really common. Abnormal repetitive behaviors are really common in the world of companion parrots. But we were talking about that night at dinner, how every behavior serves a purpose, and every abnormal repetitive behavior has a function. It has a function. A lot of times it's due to just dealing with stress and an animal's way of coping with stress. Okay, so here's me and the awesome Vicky Ronchetti, who was training tortoises out there, which was amazing. I mean, I know I've trained tortoises for a zoo outside of Chicago, Tortoises can get really huge, and they have to pick up these tortoises and sit them in the wagon and get them back to their nighttime enclosure. And it was taking a lot of work. And I was like, if you have a little time, why don't you target train them and teach them to walk back to their enclosures? And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what we focused on. But look at this beautiful, breathtaking view behind us. Okay, Sharon says, my parrots insist on me placing my hands so they can step backwards. Is this an issue? It's not an issue if your parrot doesn't have a problem with it. And if you guys are functioning well together, then no, it's not an issue. As long as if it's not causing any type of behavior issue, I wouldn't worry about it, Sharon. Okay, so we did a lot of practice with Frankie of teaching people all these little, you've got to watch this, because as soon as that, you're going to ask that bird to step up. And I said, as soon as that bird steps up, this perch is going to get weighted down. So you're asking it to step up, it's going to get weighted down, and the likelihood of dropping that perch is high. Well, guess what you're doing? That bird is hitting its tail. Okay, so we did a lot of practicing on stepping up, clear the tail, bring it, thanks, Murray, bring it back around. Okay, so here's my bird. And you're going to ask the bird, you're going to lower it, ask him to step up onto the perch. And when he does, be careful, because here's another parrot aversive. Here's another conditioned punisher or conditioned reinforcer, whichever one you want to look at. As soon as that bird step up, and I was right there getting ready to hold the perch, because Frankie was such an awesome educator. I wanted to make all this training the most beautiful, positive experience he could possibly have. And not paired with any aversives with us. So Rocky, that bird would step up, and as soon as you're eliminating that 400 grams, guess what happens? If you don't counterbalance, boom, peekaboo, the perch is going to raise and hit the tail. So that's what a lot of these photos are. So here the one trainer is working on picking the bird up. Woohoo! Nice job, Rico! Yeah! Have you gonna do a somersault? Do a somersault for everybody. Ready? That's not a somersault. Get your butt back here. Come on, put your wings on. Let's see them. Nice job. We want to see a somersault. Murray. Got a pig right here at my feet. Hi, Rock. So that's what these photos are. Here's Jen, I believe her last name is Dummer. She attended, I got the honor of meeting her. She works for a wildlife rehab in Utah, and she came to learn more about raptors through working with parrots. What was that? Hi. Parrots make awesome educators. Here's Jackie working more with Sunshine before getting him to the station. Here's some other trainers working with Frankie the African Gray. Why is that in there twice? Sorry about that. This girl was amazing. Loved her. Because in the van, peekaboo, what, Rocky? In the van on the way there, she told me she is terrified of birds. And I said, you won't be by the time you're done with my workshop. I will shape your behavior of being comfortable with birds. So she was a lot of fun to work with. So here she is when I said, who wants to work with Frankie? She's like, me. She's like, I need to go outside of my comfort zone. So I was like, you don't have to go outside your comfort zone. Let me help you be comfortable. So this off-contact training became, I started delivering the reinforcer so she didn't have to get her hands near his beak to show her what it looked like. And then soon she was doing the reinforcer. There's the awesome Frankie. Thank you, Erica, for this beautiful photo. You guys can inquire. They adopt their animals out all over the United States. I would, if you're interested in adopting an animal, I would highly contact Best Friends Animal Society, no matter what animal you're looking at. More photos of Frankie. Oh, I guess. Is this our last photo? I don't think so, but no, it's not. Sorry. Some of my photos didn't upload in order. So here are the two macaws. Jude, are you still on here? I can't remember what their names were. But here we are working a bonded pair. Sorry, they're not over. This is, I believe it, is it Sarah Babcock? A dog trainer. Her and I work together, and we're working on her picking up the green wing while I'm teaching the blue and gold gestation. What was really cool is how much these birds learned in 4 hour-and-a-half workshops. Okay, so by the end of the summit, these birds were. I really kept control of their environment, making sure the interaction with the attendees was positive, and you could see them wanting to come out for the training. It was pretty cool. Okay, this is their, I think it's called Angel's Rest. It's their cemetery, and it was breathtaking. And they have keepers out there tending to it daily, which just really touched my heart. Oh, man. Sorry, these did not upload in order. There it is, Angel's Rest. Okay, it's their cemetery. And if I told them if I ever worked out there, that's where I want to work. I want to have parrots with me. Okay, Jude, the two macaws are Kaimi and Laquita. Thank you. I could never remember their names. But anyways, Angel's Rest, it's beautiful. And I'm going to pull something up on my phone because I want to read this to you because I can't see it from the screen. Okay. Angel's Nest. This is where a lot of the parrots that have passed are buried. Rocky. That's right. So when you walk in, there's a sign. Hang on. This did not upload in order. Okay. So people would go visit their past animals, the animals that have passed, and continue to put toys and stuff on their grave sites, which was really cool. I'll pull this off to make sure I keep it on track. Yep. Okay. So I went to the parrot cemetery. A lot of little tombstones. Oops. Hang on. Let me find the photo. Because it must not have uploaded, but there's a photo of the tombs. There's like I'm saying right when you walk in, and this is what it says. Peekaboo! It's titled, Don't Weep for Me. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. Peekaboo, Rocky. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft star that shines at night. Do not stand by my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Isn't that cool? I meant to have that uploaded. There's the parrots. Rocky. And there's wind chimes that are going. It's so beautiful. And they said every time they bury an animal, even if there is no wind, a chime will ring. That was pretty cool. And then on the last day, myself and Shirag Shirag and Vicky went to to help them with some pigs. And the people working with the pigs have sent me an email yesterday. They've contacted me wanting some information. So Shirag and I sat down and stationed 2 pigs. We showed how to station some pigs that were having some problems. The one pig was having some problems aggressing on people with chains. Hi, Rocky. So with that being said, it is the end of our live stream. It's 10 o'clock. Our volunteers are getting ready to come in. Here's the workshop Deb Jones and I are having on October 13th and 14th. Deb, I'm getting a lot of people inquiring. Seats are already selling and have been selling. So anyways, if you're interested in that, you can contact us at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. Hi, Rocky. Or you can also contact me at Laura at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. Right there. So join us for another episode of Coffee with the Critters next Sunday. I'm trying to believe we've got several interviews coming up. And usually I like to do topic Q&A, enrichment interviews, and we have some other ones that we do. I can't remember what next week is, but pay attention to our schedule because there's a couple of live streams coming up that you guys are not going to want to miss. So thank you for attending. My name is Laura Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center, where we teach people how to interact and train animals using positive reinforcement and applied behavior analysis. And then we do that through our live streaming services where we can reach people all over the world. All right, so thank you guys. You are very welcome. Thanks, Deb. Andy asked if I ever come to Canada. Yes, I was in Edmonton and they have asked me to come back. So feel free. I also do online workshops if you guys are interested. Thanks. Karen just posted how you can reach me. It's Laura at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. Thanks, guys. And pay attention to our website because we have some upcoming episodes you guys are not going to want to miss. All right. Take care. If you have any questions, message me or email. See you guys. See you next Sunday.